This is the important lecture about SIFT. But why is it important? We want to have a descriptor, feature descriptor. What do I mean feature descriptor? I do example for you. This is an image. This is the other image. So when you do use Facebook, and sometimes you try to find face, find car. Suppose you have a car, right? You have a car. You try to find the same car website. And how can you find it? So before we teach about matching. Matching is meaning, suppose this image, you want to match this. And we do the search window. But if we suppose, let's give the scale like up and rotation. This is my student. We do this about 15 years ago. So, or even label rotation. So if they have a rotation and perspective, and both, if you do the NCC or use SAT, the similarity between both the confidence bus will be low. 说这个如果有任何 perspective 的话，这两张的相似度会变低。那怎么办 ？If you consider entire image, this entire image. So because the post problems 不同 post， 那你这两张的 similarity 就像这样子，对，这两张，那这个就是像是对。So suppose you only have this image, take a photo on the object. And how do you recognize this one? Because in the database, or people idea this one. Or if you have this one, and how can you identify both are the same? So if you consider the entire image, you'll find if the large page or large image will be affected by the poses. 就是你物体比较大，你会被那角度影响。So people think about what's the similarity? So they think about if we have a small page, suppose page size is suppose 15 by 15 or 11 by 11, but in our case it's 16 by 16. It's so small. A small page is like my mouth, my mouth, and my eyes. I said eyes. You try to find from this eyes, if you try to find the image of this eyes, that's easy. But if I do this one, you see my eyes is like a large pose. And how can you detect my eyes? That's not easy. So people will think about if I do this way, it's not ultimately not easy for the face detection or any detection. But if I detect some corner, just some corner points, you will find a small page, small corner. No matter how you rotate your head, the pages look similar. So based on this kind of idea, people think about if we have each image, if we have a small pages, and between two between two images, if they have a corresponding pages, that's meaning both images will be similar. If they have a corresponding page, more corresponding pages, and they will be more similar. So based on this idea, is SIFT. So SIFT is if I can find more based on some small pages and try to find more pages. So if so we have more corresponding points, actually corresponding pages. This meaning both images are similar. Or even though some of the images are occluded, we still can find both are similar images. 所以被遮到的时候呢 ，occlusion 还是可以找到这两张是相似。So won't be, which we call is not sensitive to the occlusion. So this is the other one. Suppose we have already a template this one. And how can you find this one? Is this or distinguish the difference between both SIFT method? So they can identify sketch, they identify store. Actually, they don't know this number. SIFT doesn't know the number. You just know, suppose you have this plate, essence plate, so by how much. They just find, okay, in your template, you have more corresponding points. So this was similar to this one, but they don't know the number. So it's for detection. It's not for the recognize the character. It's SIFT. So before the Google, not right now, long time, a few years ago, the Google tried to recognize your faces. Actually, not really recognize your faces. They just try to identify your faces based on the information you already located. So the Facebook is doing this. You upload the image there, they do the face detection. After you do the face detection, and then if you upload your image, they can tell you, okay, from your this image to the other image, they can tell you both faces are similar, but they don't know who's who. So that's why he asked you. You need to key in your name. So my name is James. So I upload my image to the Facebook. And the other day I upload the other one. Is I find you, the same person. But he doesn't know who are you. So he will ask you to input your name. So after you input your name, after my James there, so I started the search. So when he match my faces, he'll say, okay, this is James. That's before. So that's the same as SIFT. SIFT not for the recognition, he just identified whether it's the same or not the same. But if you want to recognize it, you should key in to tell him what's the result is. So that's SIFT. SIFT is on the pages, the corresponding point. So after that one, you can do more application. So this is a some corresponding point. SIFT is an incredible innovation things， 就是它是一个很好的发明，包括 optical flow checking 是我老板发明的。那 SIFT 是另外一些名师发明的，它是发明后很多应用可以用，就突破了在电脑视觉这边。那 Deep Learning 是持续用 ，Deep Learning 有新的 SIFT 有这种东西。Deep Learning also try to keep improving the SIFT. So suppose you have some point here, right? Some point we can become a mesh. So after you do the mesh, you can do this kind of AR. So if you want to do the AR, you should not only you do the camera calibration. Camera calibration is for what kind of purpose? You try to find a ground. So for the AR, it's important to find a ground. The other important technology for the AR is that SIFT like this way. Because you can find some feature point. Based on feature point, you can do the mesh. After mesh, you can do like this one process. So SIFT is very important. So I teach you SIFT. And right now, I teach you is the basic SIFT. But right now, deep learning has more and have a better SIFT. So what's the S? This is the other. It's kind of AR. It's more fun. So right now in your cell phone already have some AR application. This is the other one. The book. You can see this one. Why you can see this one? Is your screen can see this one because your screen has a camera. And probably there's some like a QR code something. Recognize the QR code. They can display. 这个不是真的在这本书有这个，不是哦，是你荧幕上有这个。他翻到这页是荧幕侦测这些字什么，会把资料放上去。这个很多技术是要在这种电脑视觉应用大人在做的。这都我给你资料都有旧的，因为最近没有再去找新的 AI， 但进步很快。是一个。这本书在这里，摄影机在上面啊。The camera is focus here. Can you read this one? This the other time they are. 这个讲的 it's not right. 这图是真的，但是上面贴上去这是假的。但那时候不是做的很好，是先做的更好。So picture here. So what I try to teach you is the SIFT. SIFT is what? For first of all, how do you find we call good feature? This good feature. How can you find a good feature? Edge is not a good feature. Corner is a good feature. Because corner is stable. Edge is not stable. We talk about this one. You can find a good feature. So each feature with a page. This page, small page. So in this case, it's a small page, but in later on, the page will be later page will be 16 by 16. But based on the page, the small page, 16 by 16. That's the paper says 16 by 16. That's their experience. 他们做很多研究发现16跟16乘16是最好的。So what's the descriptor is this one? So any page 16 by 16 in their case. In one image, there is many small pages. Each small page you can assume is a corner. So based on the corner position, you select 16 by 16 pages. Sorry, 16 by 16 page. And then you will separate this one 4 by 4 and become this is the dimensions 128 dimension of vector. This one we call descriptor. So original image for each corner, you select the corner and become a page. The page size is 16 by 16. Based on 16 by 16, we divide it to 4 by 4. So it doesn't mean each one is a 4 by 4 pixels. You have a, because there's edge detection. Corner is one kind of edge. Edge, not all the edge belong to corner. Corner is one kind of edge. What edge has a, what's the information? Edge has a magnitude, has a rotation angle. Edge detection, the result, edge detection has two important information. One we call magnitude, 大小. The other we call edge angle, edge 代表旋转角度. So edge is two information. So for each page, this one, so rotation angle is here, theta. And for each one, you accumulate the magnitude. So that's the magnitude is the y-axis. So this one becomes this histogram. This histogram has rotation angle as a magnitude, and total is 128. B is the index. So this becomes one we call vector. This is a vector. And based on this vector, we normalize, become univector. So each page will become one univector. This univector we call vector descriptor. 向量的描述 or we call SIFT. So any of page we have a descriptor. Why is 128? Why not 64? Why not 256? Actually, they did. 他们试过 and finally they find out the best vector to represent the descriptor is 128 dimension. 所以这个是 SIP 把一个 page 变成一个 vector. And this is the same as the same as the deep learning. Deep learning actually do encoder and the output encoder 7 by 7, right? If from big one and become 7 by 7 by 1024. It's a descriptor. We'll talk about SFT for next hour. Take a break. 你们有问题可以现在问没关系。